Hi there, David here from daviddumaiaudio.com, and in this video we'll be taking a look at nvk Create by nvk.Tools. Now, for those of you who may not be aware, nvk Create is a Reaper script that runs within Reaper. So if you don't have Reaper as your DAW, you won't be able to use nvk Create, but if you're not a Reaper user, you can still stick around and kind of check it out. But yeah, this is mainly and strictly for Reaper users. So if you're a Reaper user and you like to create sound effects, or you want to use it to do some searching for sound effects and databases and stuff like that, we'll kind of get into it in this video, like what it can do and how it's like really cool for sound designers, library creators, and things like that. But yeah, if that's what you're interested in, stick around because we're going to talk about all of that. Before we get into the video, though, I do have a little gift for you if you are a sound designer. It is my sound designer's gear recommendation guide. So this is a guide that I kind of put together of different gear recommendations that I would give myself if I was going to start over. What would I look at, and maybe what I would consider getting to start off, especially for software and also for hardware. So if you want to check it out, links will be in the description. It'll be free. All right, little disclaimer actually before we get into the video. Nick from nvk.Tools did send me nvk Create for free, but there was no strings attached to it. He basically said, like, I know you like to use randomization tools, so here, why don't you check this out? And I basically said thanks, and then we actually haven't been in contact since, so he doesn't even know I'm making this video. Everything here is my opinion, yada, yada, yada. You get the picture. This is just me. All right, let's get into the project. All right, so here we are inside of Reaper, and what I'm going to do to start off is, like I've already installed nvk Create, and if you don't know how to install it, I mean, he has a pretty well detailed guide of how to install it. You basically need I think it was the RiaPack extensions, something like that. I don't exactly remember, but anyways, it's pretty clear and detailed how to install it. And basically what you do is you go into your actions list here. So for me to get into my actions list, I just press Shift and question mark, and then I have it here. Now I can just search nvk Create here, and there's two scripts. There is the nvk Create script and then nvk Replace script. So I'm just going to start off with the nvk Create. This is your main script that you're going to run to start it off. So this is what it looks like, and basically what it is, it's a search field for your databases. So you are going to need some databases within Reaper in order to be able to search all the sounds within here. So what I'm going to do first is actually I'm going to show you. You can go to here, View, Media Explorer. And I have mine down here, and I have already 2 or 3 databases created. So you see here, I have my SFX database here, and I have my one from my E drive. And then I also have one here that I created for my melee weapons because I'm working on a little project for that. So I have these 3 databases created. If you want to create a new database, you can just right click here and then create a new database right here, and then choose like the drives that you want to use to create those databases. And yeah, so once you have that, then what you can do is you can run Reaper. So I'm just going to do it here from a hotkey because I have a hotkey assigned to my Stream Deck. So now it loads it up, and this is what it is. So now what I can do is I can just search through my databases to find sounds that I want. So let's say I want a weapon swing or a swing sound. Here we go. Now it's going to search all of them, and now I can see all of these different sounds, swing sounds that I have here. I can press page up or down on my keyboard to go through them really quickly. I can use the arrow keys to go up and down really quickly. And then if there's ever one that has like multiple sounds, as you can see here, then what I can do is I can go right and left to go over each different take of the sounds. So this was a recording that I did of different swing sounds. And then, so what I'm doing is I'm just going through each of those swing sounds really quickly. So this is great because now what I can do is I can just go in here, maybe it said, this one, click enter, and it's just going to import it, bam, directly into here. So I don't know why there was 2 here. Let's undo that. But that's how it basically works. So let's go over the interface and see how we can set it up really quickly. So as you can see here, F1 will open up the help, and this is online, so you need to be connected to the internet to see this, but basically you have a really detailed and a nicely laid out help section here, and you can see everything on here, and it's really easy to like read through and see exactly how everything works, which is really, really nice and useful. So there's that. Next thing you can do is press F2. This is your general settings. So you can see your resolution here, your theme, which you can change to different colors. Like let's say you want it light, you can change it to that. I like to have mine at, what was it? I think it was dark. Anyways, you have all your settings here that you can change if you want to. I kind of left it as is, so I didn't really change too much on there. The next thing you want to check out is F3. F3 is going to be your databases. So what you can do here, as you can see, like I showed before in the Media Explorer, I had 3 databases. So I have them here. I can select them one at a time, and it'll only search the one I have selected. So right now, if I search only my melee weapons, I can go back here by pressing F3 again, and then I can search whatever, and it's only going to search that database, that one database. What I can also do is I can hold Shift and select multiple databases. Now it's just going to search these 2 databases here. So again, press F3, and now it's going to search those 2 databases. Or what I can do is select all, Shift, all 3 of them. It's going to select all, and then it's going to search all my databases, all my sounds that I have on my computer to be able to go through that. All right, so that's really convenient. Like if you're working on, let's say, a project and you have all your sounds within one folder, you can create, a little a database with just that folder, and then just search those sounds to use those sounds when you're working on your project. So that is really, really, really useful. Okay, next you have F4, which basically just hides your results. F5, what it does is analyzes all of your sounds, and what it'll do is include. Well, let me show you. So it'll include some. I think what it does is it'll include the files. So here, like you see how every single take is cut off. So what it'll do is include a marker for every take, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what F5 does. All right, next we have F6 here. That's just to clear the cache. F7 reduces how many results you have. F8 includes. So if you want to have less results, you just press F7. Here I only have 3 results. If you want, you can have a lot more like that, so it's a bit bigger, right? F9 here just makes your window bigger. F10 makes your window really big. Sorry, F9 makes it smaller. F10 big, right? And anyways, there's a whole bunch of hotkeys that you can check. These are kind of the main ones. All right, so this is the main kind of layout of what it can do. So if you want, you can just, let's say you like this sound, press Enter, and it goes directly into your track here, as you can see. Right, so let's say I undo that. Okay, so that is one way that you could use it, just to find sound, search, bam, enter, and it goes right into where your transport bar is. Okay, the other way that you can use it is you can press Tab or just click on this little icon up here, and you can use it to layer sounds together. And this is the way I like to use it mostly. And so let's say I want to have swing sounds, okay? And I want 10 variations with 3 items each, which means there's going to be 3 layers. The layers are going to be no longer than 2 seconds in length. And here, pitch is 6 semitones. Offset, this is the offset of the transients. So it'll not be any more than 0.04 offset. So they'll be very close together. Reverse, if I want sounds to reverse, you can set a reverse percentage. I normally leave it at 0, but depending on what you're doing, you might want to include this. Random here, it'll take a random set within a sections like I have here. If I have multiple ones, it'll take one random one within there. Finally, trim will add take markers and at the peaks, and then if you have multiple takes, it'll add a take marker at each take. Then normalize. This will normalize each file, but most of my sounds are already normalized for this folder here, so I don't put it on there. But let's say I want to have something like swing, and then I just press Enter, and it's going to set these up, and then it's pretty quick. It's already done. There you go. I have 10 already done here, and if we play through these. Right, so it's super quick, super easy to create some sounds like that. And of course, you can create hundreds of sound files if you wanted to. But anyways, this is a quick way to do it. So let's just finish off here with these settings here, and then I'm going to show you how I like to use it and other things that you can do with it, because it's a lot more than just this that you can use. So here, loop. This is just when it plays, it's going to loop and keep playing. So if you want to have that on or off, this one here is track preview. So this one's cool because depending on which track you have selected, okay, let's say you have a sound effect here that you want. Let's say I have this sound effect here on here, and I have here manipulator and portal. Okay, so let's say I play this. Right, sounds cool. If I take off the effects, that's the normal effect, and then okay, let's say I like that processing, but I want to try a different take. Let's say I want to try a different swing sound. What I can do is with this track selected, I don't have to have the solo on, this track selected and this button on, I'm going to turn on track preview. Now what I can do is I can try other sounds and it'll play with this processing on. right? So I can quickly preview what the sounds would sound like through the track with these effects on. So this is great. So I don't have to like drag and drop things and then see if it works or it doesn't. I can just quickly go through here, find something that works, and then just if I do like it, enter, bam, it's, whoop. Sorry, I had this section on, but if I didn't have that, then I could do like this. Like that, I like it, bam, enter, and it's in there, and I have it all set up and ready to go. All right, so that's what track preview does. If you want to just have it off, if you just want to see what your sounds are and what they sound like with nothing on, then you can turn this off. Auto trim here, I'm not sure exactly what that does. Oh, yeah. I think auto trim, if you have it off and you select something with a lot of takes like this, and you just drag and drop it in, it's just going to take your first take like that. And then you can still drag it out and see all the other takes, but when you drop it in, it'll just take it at the first take. But if you have this on, okay, no, I think what it's supposed to do is when you have it off, it's supposed to, yeah, so I think it's supposed to drag everything off like that as one take. Anyways, it's kind of finicky right now, or maybe I'm just doing it wrong. Anyways, I think that's what it's supposed to do. Here, keep script on. This is so that when you do enter a sound, let's say I want this sound, I put it in, it keeps the script open, but if I want to turn it off and I press enter, it's gonna shut it down after I press enter. So that's what this here is doing. Here you have your preferences, which is just your F2 here that I showed from before. And that's it. This is a quick overview of the entire interface here. All right, so now that we've gone over the interface of NVK Create, and we kind of already have an idea of what you can do with it, what I'd like to do is actually show you how I like to use it, and let's give some examples here. Let's see what we can create with it and see if it can actually be useful in terms of creating sound effects or, yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you a few. Yeah, I'm going to show you a way that I have used it in the past week here, and it is like this. So let's say I want to create a sword swing sound effect or some sort of weapon swing hit sound, something like that. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to have a swing. I'm going to set the items to 5, and here I'm going to show you why this is really powerful. So you can do 5, and then I'm going to have 10 variations. Sure, let's go with that. So doing it this way is kind of strange and it doesn't really work. I mean, it doesn't really work. It works well. You get these cool sounds. It doesn't really make sense to have 5 swing sound effects here. I mean, they can sound okay. They kind of sound like a little too busy, okay? And maybe you don't want that. But what you can do now is because these are all in a group and they're all in this NVK group here, you can see that NVK is going to search for swings. L here is for the length, is going to be 2 seconds or less. P is the pitch, so it's going to be pitch 6 semitones up or down. And N is for, I think, normalized. Anyways, so I'm in my NVK folder here. And now what I can do is each track name suddenly becomes a new search bar. So let's say I wanted to have a swing sound like I had before. Okay, I can put swings here. Let's say here I want to have a metal hit. Okay, so I have some metal hits in my database. And I also have some designed metal hit. Okay, let's say I want that. And I also have a kick. Let's say I also want a kick here, and let's say I also want, let's do another swing. Okay, now what I can do is I can grab all of these, and I can hit the NVK replace. So if you remember here when we were in our action list, NVK create, there's 2 scripts. One is just the regular script to open up the interface. You also have the NVK create replace script. So I'm going to run that on all of my selected sounds. So let's see here. I'm going to do it with my hotkey so we can actually see it in action here. I'm going to hit replace. There you go. All the sounds have been replaced. And what you'll notice is that they've already all been replaced with what I've put in here as the track name. So for this one, it should all be swings, which it is. This one should be a metal hit. It is. It is again. Here should be some sort of kick or impact. And here should be another swing. Right, so the reason this is so powerful because now each of these is essentially a search bar, and if you know that you're looking for something in your database, you can just search for it here. You don't have to open NVK create up again and then do the search and then re-put it in. Like everything's here. You just hit replace and then everything's there. Right, so now I can just go in through here. I like that. Let's say I like this. That's a cool sound. Maybe I don't like the metal sounds. Maybe I hit NVK replace. Bam, they're already replaced. Maybe again. Right, I can just quickly replace my sounds super fast because I already have this search term here. Let's say I want something else. Let's say I want a slash sound here. So maybe I just replace this one. Bam, now it's going to be a slash sound. right? So it's super quick, super easy to just import sounds, find sounds, and search sounds. So this is another way that you can use NVK Create is just by using the actual track names as search fields. All right, and then you just select them all, hit replace. Then suddenly I have 10 completely new sounds that I can use. All right, the other thing that you can do within here, so outside of like the main nvk create script, is that you can change the settings here. So let's say I want the length now to be 3. I want the pitch to be, maybe 12 semitones. I can just do that. Bam. So now it's going to search for items that are 3 seconds in length or less, and then it's going to pitch them up 12 or down 12 semitones. So again, I can grab everything here, replace, and then everything's going to be replaced with these new settings and with these search terms here. So now I have all of them right here. Right? Maybe I want it to be even shorter. Maybe I want 0.5. So this is going to be 0.5 seconds. So these are all going to be super short now. So there you go. It's searched for all the sounds that are 0.5 seconds or less with these search terms here. And now I have them here. Right? So now they're all super, super short. And what you see here is what it did is for these sounds, even though they're super long here, what it does is it just shortens them up like that. Right, so even though these are long files, it's still taking the file and it's just shortening up. So I don't know if there's a way that you can actually just search for sound files that are actually 0.5 seconds long or less, or if it'll still search for all the files and then just cut them down. I actually thought that it was just going to search for files that were 5 seconds or 0.5 seconds or less and import those in here. But it seems that actually they're taking files that are any file length and then just bringing it down with a fade here. So anyways, I don't know if there's a way to change that. Maybe somebody can put a comment down below if there is a way to change that. But yeah, so but my point here was that you can create these sounds super quickly, super easily by changing the settings here. You don't have to open up nvk create again and go back in here and then change all the settings, press enter, or redo everything, right? So everything's available right here on the track name, which is super fast and super convenient to use. All right, so now that we've gone over a bit of the interface and how you can use it and what you can use it for, using it as a search field, using it to create layers of sound effects like this, using it, the track names, and also using it as a preview if you want to preview stuff with effects on the track. Let's go over some of the things that I think could be improved and also some of the things that make it really powerful and a reason for people to pick up. Okay, number one is that when you have let's say you're searching for something, okay? Let's say you want to create 10 variations of a sound. Again, I'm going to do a swing sound effect. Let's just do like 3 items, let's say, okay? And then I'm like, okay, that sounds good. I want to go in and this time I want to search all of these databases. So now if I go back into search, it kind of loses that search field, it can be annoying. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's just something to be aware of, like something that maybe could be improved. It's really not a deal breaker at all, but it's kind of annoying that it kind of resets your search field. Again, not a big deal. It's like super quick to just type it back up, but just be aware of that. All right, another thing that's kind of, I guess, inconvenient, or I don't know if there's another way to get around it. And let me actually show you what that looks like. So let's say you're doing sounds that are 0.5 seconds in length or less, okay? And I'm gonna just do a swing sound and press enter. Let's create these. So these are all going to be really short. Let's say, there we go. Okay, there you go. So these are all really short sounds, half a second or less. Okay. Now let's say I wanted to change the timing here, and I actually want sounds that are 2 seconds in length. Okay. Well, now when I go in and I press replace, it's going to replace them. But then what you're going to see is that they're going to start to overlap because these sounds are too long, right? They're all too long. So you can't actually use them. Like you have to go in and then like remove them around and stuff like that. So it's a little bit of an inconvenience. Again, it's not a huge deal because you can just like reopen it and then redo the search and everything. But when you have everything like set up where you have like swing, like you have all your search terms here in the track name, it's kind of annoying to have to redo it and go through all of that again. So I don't know if there's a way to be able to space them out evenly. Maybe there's probably like a Reaper script. I don't know, but somebody could probably leave it down below. Like I'm still kind of new to Reaper, so I don't know all these scripts. Maybe there's something where you can like split these up and keep these items together like this. Anyways, just something to be aware of, that if you do switch the length, it's gonna start to overlap. Another thing that's again, I'm not sure if there's a way to change this, but when you do create a new set like this, so my swing set like that, and then I press enter with the layers like this, you'll see that it's taking the track name as the first, I think it's the first item that's on here, right? So that is the track name, but really it'd be nice if it was actually the search item. So right now it's swing. So it'd be nice if all of these were, like I just manually put this in. I don't know if you guys remember, but I manually had put this in, but it'd be nice if all of them were marked as swing, because then if I want to just go and click replace, then I can just grab them all and click replace. The issue though right now, which is, again, it's kind of an annoyance more than anything an inconvenience, is that because these are all with the name of the first item that's in here, if I go in here and I just click replace to replace all these, it's just going to replace it with all the same file because it's just searching for that one file name. So it's searching for this file and then it's just going to put it all in here, which is kind of annoying. Like, why? It'd be nice if it could just be what the search term was, then I can just go in here, click replace, and then it's going to replace them with all of these different swing sounds that I had because that was my search term. Anyways, so a little thing, like every time I do this, I have to go in manually and put in swings. And again, I'm not sure if maybe I'm doing something wrong. Somebody can let me know. But I think it'd be really nice if the search term were just automatically put in the track names here like that. And yeah, and also just a quick thing here. Not that this is an improvement or a pro or con here, but you can like easily grab a track here, duplicate it, and then you have all these new tracks, and then you can just quickly grab them and then press the replace function, and then it's going to replace it with new sounds. So like if you're ever like, I want another layer, well, just add a layer. If you don't want to be a swing, metal hit like that, select these, replace, bam, they're all metal hits now, right? So super quick, super easy to do that. Just forgot to mention that. Okay, last thing that I think would be nice as an improvement is if there was, and maybe there is probably already a way to do this, and maybe I'm just not aware of how, but a way to like update the database from here. So what happens with Reaper when you're selecting a database is if you're adding new files, unless you've updated the database, it won't show it. So what you have to do in order to update the database, if you want to see the new files that you put into that database, is you have to go back into Media Explorer, back into your database. Let's say I want to update this database here. And let's say so now I have to scan for new files right here. Scan, not this one, sorry, all databases. You want to just do it here, scan database for new files, right? And if I do that, then it's going to scan the database for any new files that I might have in that one database, right? So it'd be nice if I could do that directly from NVK Create so I don't have to go in there and do that. So I don't know if there's a way to do that. It'd be nice if I could just go here, like right click, update all files from database. That'd be really, really handy. So I don't have to go into Media Explorer every time just to do that. All right, so those are a few things that I think would be nice improvements, or like they're more like quality of life improvements, if you will, for like using NVK Create, because it's already really good. And yeah, these are just like small nitpicky things, at least I think. But let's talk about some of the pros and some of the things that make this really powerful. Like I said before, you can rename your tracks and use that as a search field, and then hit replace to replace those sounds. You can update the search from the group folder. So from up here, I can update the file length, the pitch, normalization, etc. So you can do all of that from all within here without having to open it back up. So super powerful. It's super quick and super easy to create and replace sound effects, as you can, as hopefully you've seen me do in this video. And then the awesome thing is that this is all done within Reaper, right? You don't need another piece of software. You don't have to export and then import back into here. If you have a project or something you're working on, you can just quickly create stuff all within here, and then it's just there. Like it's not like you're working in something like, for example, Boom Library Soundweaver, where you have to export it and then import it back into your DAW. This is all done within Reaper, so it's just a really quick workflow. Another thing is that you have really quick navigations with hotkeys, and you can learn this pretty quickly. I think they're kind of self-explanatory, but like, let's say I'm looking for a sound here, like this. I can use the keys up and down, left and right if there's multiple sounds in a file, page up and down to go really quickly. The only thing that I would like to see actually is if there was like a random button where you can randomly choose a sound in here, which I don't think there is, but it'd be really great if there was like a random button where it can like it'll randomly pick a sound from within your results here. Yeah, and then final thing is that you can basically use this as a search, as like a database search. So instead of having to use like Reaper's built-in Media Explorer, where you can go in here and then search for stuff like this, and then you can search for sounds, which is fine. It's great and it's free and it comes with Reaper. I mean, you can. That's totally fine, totally doable. It's just an added bonus here is that you can do all of that within NVK Create here, right? It's just a quick search. You can just drag single items into your sounds, which I've done as well. Like if I'm just, I just need like an impact sound for my stuff. I'll just pull up the script, impact. Man, let's find one. You know, up and down, enter. There you go. Now it's in my track here, right? So it's super quick, super easy to do that. All right, so who is this for? Like who should get this software? And basically what I've come to the conclusion from using it for the past couple of weeks is basically anyone who's a sound designer. If you want to improve your workflow, this is a tool to get. If you're using Reaper, this is a tool to get. It's super, super, super convenient and highly useful. I've been using it pretty much every day since I've gotten it. So I highly recommend it. Even though I didn't pay for it, I would have paid for it. It was on my radar from before, and it was something that I was kind of saving up to eventually get. So I'm really happy I now have it because it's just been improving my workflow so much. It's so much better, and I can just work so much faster, create so much more sound effects, and yeah, it's just super, super nice to have. So if you are a sound designer, a sound pack creator, you create sound libraries or stuff like that, definitely this will help because you can just create sounds really quickly. All right, so if you already own something like Soundweaver by Boom Library, you probably wouldn't need this. It'd be kind of redundant to have both because they both kind of do something similar. But if you want to know more about it, I'll put a link in the cards above about Soundweaver. If you want to see a review that I did, I'll put it up there. So if maybe you're kind of thinking about both, maybe have a look at that, and then you can kind of compare it with this one and see maybe which one would be best for you. But yeah, I think this is it. Let me know if I missed anything and what you guys thought about it, and if you guys have it or not, and how you like to use it. I mean, maybe I'm not really reaching into its full potential just yet. So I'd love to know what you guys think about it. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. I always read everything and make sure to answer them to the best I can. And yeah, that's it for now. I hope you found the video useful and valuable, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.